today?
Chatty house. We ballin', boy. We going up at the Chatty house. We talk about it all, bring the family out. Sub to the channel, hit the lights down. And we only going up when the lights down. Yeah, we just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty house party. We just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty house party.
What's up? It's the crew, the Chatty House after party. First, I got to thank Bleezy for all that footage that Zabel put together for the new intro. So that was dope, Bleezy. I know you'll never see this, but but thanks for the footage. I appreciate it. The crew appreciates it. And Zabel, thank you for putting that together. That was dope. So much love, much love. What's up? How y'all feeling today? All right, I'm talking to you. I mean, y'all the ones on the screen. How you all feeling today?
Oh, I'm good. Just sitting here watching the game. Watching the history be made with Bronny James and LeBron on the court.
All right, we'll talk. What'd you say?
Basketball is back.
Basketball is back, Jack. That is a good thing, and pretty good. Like, went right straight from the WNBA to the NBA, so that's pretty dope. Like, there wasn't much in between having to wait for some b-ball, so that's dope.
You're fired. You didn't notice?
Huh? You got all dialed up. Okay.
Red. You didn't notice? It's red.
It's so dark in there, girl. You got the lights out. But it looks dope. All right, okay. You're going with the fire look, okay. Are you frozen? You look like James Ham over there. No?
I'm good. It's been a rough week, dude.
I feel you. I feel you on that. So I want to start off with the WNBA because obviously that just ended, right? Phenomenal 5-game series. A little controversy at the end, and we'll get onto that, but what y'all think about the series in general? Katrina?
Good. It was exciting. Like, I went in it not really rooting for anyone, just ready for some good basketball. And it was fun. It was physical, gritty. I mean, the officiating was horrible throughout, but I enjoyed it.
It was an entertaining series.
Go ahead, Kyron.
Hey, Warren?
I'll just say it was entertaining. It was competitive. That last game was fun to watch outside of the officiating. But yeah, it was great. It was a great showcase of women's basketball in general. And hopefully they're saying like we're getting record people watching it. And hopefully that continues to next year.
I think it was like 2.1 was the final. I don't know if it was the final number, but I saw this morning something said like 2.1 million. So I think that was the highest rated game on that. For sure, because I definitely a 5-game series, so it had to be the highest rating, I assume, ever. I feel like everything was on an uptick as far as records being broken throughout the season, so it would make sense. I thought it was one of the best basketball series I've ever seen, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in general, like not men, women, whatever. Like, that was a phenomenal. Everybody wanted in Game 4, like everybody wanted to go 5 games, wanted to see what's up.
And who called it? Who called Liberty in 5?
You did. You did call Liberty in 5. Did you push Stewie on the last play to help her travel to that call, or no? No. Okay. Just curious. What'd you think, Warren?
Oh yeah, they balled out. It was a really good, really good, entertaining series. Really physical. They went at each other. Save for the last quarter of the game, the controversy behind it. Other than that, they really done their job with the entertainment on this one. They, like I said, they showed out.
Barclays was lit.
Yeah,
especially that Game 5. Like, you could feel it through the TV.
And
Yeah, for sure.
This just goes to show what kind of support they actually can get. You know, a lot of people dismissing the WNBA and saying the girls can't ball. You know, I've even seen, you know, well, if it's so good, then how come women are not supporting it? And I'm looking at them like, you know, it's not just for women. You know,
Yeah.
women are playing, but it's not just for women. It's basketball. If you like basketball, then you love this as well. So, like I said, I was highly entertained. I was locked in for the full 5 games.
Yes, me too. I think, like you said, I think for the longest, I personally, I always felt like the WNBA women, or just women in general, I think like fundamentally, especially over the last couple of years, where I think men have gotten a little bit sloppier with fundamentals. I always felt like the women were always on point with fundamental basketball, like the crisp passes, the defense, not being as sloppy. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and there's always bad games, but like overall, always just a little bit more fundamentally sound. So like that was cool to see, uh, and I'm just happy for them in general, man. They deserve all that. Man. You see a lot of them having to play overseas for such a long time, have summer jobs, kind of like teachers, you know what I'm saying? Like, got to go get summer jobs to help pay the bills. And we've all seen, although I don't agree with the way she brought it about, but like the Angel Reese talking about she makes more money outside of the WNBA to pay her bills. And the whole rent thing, that gets me because I'm just like, nobody told you to live. Like, you know, I don't live in a $5 million home and talk about, oh, my job don't pay for my $5 million home mortgage. Like, you just don't live in a $5 million home then. I mean, damn. Like, if that's what you want to live in and you find ways to make that work, then don't cry about a particular job ain't paying for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you live to your means. But I get it in general. In the grand scheme of things, for a long time, they weren't making crap. And they had to go play in Russia and see the stuff that happened with like Brittany Griner and stuff like that. So it's good to see that, especially now that they got out of that collective bargaining agreement and they're kind of renegotiating everything to get more piece of the pie, which rightfully so. And we saw D'Lo and Casey kind of touch on that earlier with, especially with Trista, like going over points of how like WNBA seems to self-sabotage itself purposely at times, kind of keep the workers down. And now it's come to a head where it's like they're in the full spotlight, and you're gonna have to make concessions to the women, and it's gonna have to even out at some point for them. You know, good for them, man. They deserve every bit of it, and that's awesome. What did y'all think about the last part of regulation? Katrina, you were fine with it, I'm sure.
Yeah, just fine with it. Look, I mean, I watched it. It happened. Looking back at it, watching it back, that's when I was like, But it didn't change the outcome for me. I mean, the Lynx were struggling in overtime, so it ended how it ended.
Yeah, they didn't look like they recovered much from that. But
I mean, shooting the numbers through the whole game were
terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. Stewie and Sabrina, boy, they couldn't. What do they say? They couldn't hit water in the oceans. It was really bad.
No.
It was but I personally missed where everybody was saying that there was a travel. I believe it was on Stewie. I didn't see it. I must have gotten up and did something or missed it or was doing something, but I missed it. You know, I have to go back and look at it. That one foul that they called, I forgot what the Lynx player was. They said hit Stewie. That wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
That wasn't a foul at all.
Especially after everything else that they let go throughout the series.
It needs to be fair on both sides.
No, I agree. And I can't even imagine. Could you imagine if the Lynx did win, though, how much Stewie and Sabrina would have felt that heat in the offseason? Like, they would have felt, because it would have came down to them. Like, and I mean, that's just how it is with star players. Especially in a game 5. And for the most part, I mean, Sabrina was off most of the series except for the one game. So, like, she really would have caught a lot a lot of heat. And then Stewie with the missed free throws a bunch of times, like in critical situations, like they would not have been sleeping very well, knowing them, like, especially as competitive as they are, like they would have had a long off season, long, more than the Lynx. Like I think if the Lynx had lost, it just was like, hey, Liberty, well, they did lose, but like it's more like, hey, they played the best they could. They were there. They played them hard for 5 games. There's no sleep to be lost there. Like they left it all out there. I think that's definitely 2 different storylines altogether. So, yeah, but that was like I saw the traveling, I saw the foul, definitely was missed. I think if the whole series had been called a little bit more even overall, I would have been okay with that, but it wasn't. And that was a very crucial moment to suddenly have a tic-tac foul when you let everything else go for so long. And I'm not one of those, like, all of a sudden you call it different at the end or whatever. Like, bro, just call it the way you've been calling. It's like balls and strikes.
Yeah.
Like, don't call it one way for 3 innings, and then all of a sudden the 5th inning and you're calling it tight and late. Like, it's either all or nothing, man. Like, be terrible throughout, or call every tic-tac foul, or just don't call them at all. But that's too crucial of a situation to even let that be a talking point the next day. You know what I'm saying? So
I think there's such a spotlight on those specific plays in overtime, whereas there were all these plays throughout the game, throughout the series, that weren't either miscalled or weren't called. So we're talking about this now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But I think the overall gameplay, it was fast paced, but I think where Sabrina went wrong is like the ending of the Boston New York game tonight, where they were just trying to catch, they were trying to make history, just shooting up threes for no reason. I mean, run a play. I mean, I understand that history is on the line and you're trying to come out, with the spotlight, but all she did was shoot threes. It was crazy. And I was just like, stop shooting threes, run a play, get yourself in a position where you could take an open 3 and not just run down the court and shoot a contested 3, because most of her shots were contested. It was just to me, for her, it was just bad balls. I don't know if it was the nerves or if, she was like, I want the spotlight on me. I'm not going to say that's just what she did, but I mean, it kind of resembles that. But all those unnecessary threes, from way out, it's just, she's taking like 35-foot threes. Like, why are you doing that? You have plenty of time, set up a play, get yourself open, get a screen or something like that.
Right. No,
I
I agree.
Definitely came into play for both teams, at least in the first quarter, maybe even the first half.
Yeah, they could have ran the play through Jonquel Jones, because she was hot. Set it up, get it down in the post, kick it out, run some plays, set some screens and things like that.
I think that's another like, she's such an unsung hero. Like, Jones was fire. Like like, man, she's got that. I don't always want to compare a woman to a man or vice versa, but like, the game is very much a Joker game. Like, she can shoot that 3, she can take it, she can dish it, she can pound down low when she needs to. Like, pause.
And the same thing goes for Williams on the Lynx. That's what she was doing. She was trying to play hero ball as well. I think game 5, the nerves was out there, and they're really wanting to shoot the ball, and just for the most part that it was just bad playing. Just trying to get out there and exactly win the game.
So, did you guys think I know it's emotions after the game, but did you guys get to see the Reeves press conference when she kind of went in?
I saw it.
Parts of
I
it.
saw it. I could see her point, but I don't know if that was the right setting to do it. But, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Catch 22. I guess that's where her emotions got the best of her, and she just had to run with it and tell her how it feels. Now I don't know. Do they get fined like they do in the NBA for talking about the
I'm
officials and
sure
stuff like that?
it's basically
Yeah,
the same guidelines.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna get hit with a fine, for that. But I can
The
see
owners
where
will
she
pay
was
that
coming
one.
from. Huh?
She was doing a
Yeah.
little too much.
Yeah.
I mean, she's also probably defending the rest of her players. She's trying to make sure that they understand I got your back, you got mine, and even though we lost this, we're gonna come back next year and get this.
That's why I saw it. And also, like, I'm sorry, but like, if you're gonna shove them in front of the camera and microphone, like right afterwards, like, I don't mind seeing real. Like, I get it. Like, I don't. In that moment, in that time, it's a game 5 for all the marbles, all this. You put everything on the line, especially after a season like this, that kind of crowd. Like, you're gonna get it. Like, I'm gonna give you the real, the raw, and like whatever it is, it is. I can say something later, like I didn't mean to take any jabs at so and so or whatever the case may be. But in that moment, I'm heated. I'm gonna give it to them. Like, and then like Cameron, like you said, like I'm gonna show I got my players back and make sure they know like it's ride or die, So on that part, like I'm not so much on the end of I saw a couple people call her a sore loser and all that. Like man, if you can't say on one end you want people to give you real answers, and on the other end, like especially in like that moment. So like I'm all for it. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it every single time, right? But I'm all for like just laying it out on the line. So I'm cool with it. She didn't take any. I didn't see as long as she didn't take any like aiming at any particular player or the calling out a coach. Like it was more the officiating and the overall play, right? So that's cool.
Yeah, I get the officiating, but then at the end, my favorite part where she was like, "Yeah, congratulations to Liberty on your first. We were going for 5. We were going for our
She did say that. That's true. Yeah. Like,
she was like, "Let me just throw one more.
just one more for the road. One more for the road. And I know D'Lo and Casey kind of touched on the whole. Trista was real more brought it up, but like the whole commissioner thing, like I'm with that, man. She got to go. Like she was not ready. She was not ready to run the league for the future. She was decent for what they were at the point that they were at, but it's almost one of those where like you get a coach that almost gets you to the championship, but can't get over that hump, and then you see like, all right, man, like you did a great job up to this point, but you're not built to take us all the way to the promised land. We're going to have to bring somebody else in to do that. And that's like, you can't wear a Liberty dress like that. That's come on, man. Like, and then all the other little bumps she had during the season, like I don't know if maybe it was just this season and she, wasn't prepared, but that's literally your job to be prepared for the future. And she's not in my eyes. So I think when this whole collective thing comes about and they're renegotiating, I think that's going to be one of the things that behind closed doors, like they got to look into it. Somebody that's more prepared, more able, and more willing to lead the whole league as a whole.
She should have worn what? Did you see what Angel Reese was wearing? The split jersey.
Yeah, the half and half.
She needed to hook her up with one too.
We call that the Ramsey jersey. So that's you could get all your teams on there.
You need like 8, like
just cover
patchwork jersey.
Like the old school jackets that had like all the NBA teams on them. Like I would always see cats. There would always be at least 1-2 cats in the hood that had that on. I'm like, more power, but I hated those things. I thought they were the ugliest things in the world personally, but I couldn't wear it. I couldn't be able to wear something like that. So, but like I'm sure like everybody else here, like I'm excited for where it goes from here. I'm excited to see what they do with the 3-on-3, what they do next year, like improving the 7-game series. I'm all for that. I'm with Deal. I think it's ridiculous anybody talking about that they need to stay at 5 games. Like, man, you go do like everybody else, man. Go to 7 and have more epic series. Like, so.
I was with what David said a couple weeks ago. Like, can we change that rule now? Can we make
it
7 now?
For real. Could you imagine the game 6 after that?
Yeah.
Like after that, like that's crazy, man. Like, yeah. So
they're like, oh, just kidding. Man. There's 2 more.
Yeah, it's 2 more, man. Oh,
Just think of the
no.
viewership that would come
The
after
only
that.
thing is
on the
though,
game.
when were they gonna play the 6th and 7th game? Because you got Sunday night, and then a couple of days later, you got the start of the NBA. Who's really gonna watch? Who's with the NBA starting, and you got your 30 teams out
It's a
now.
good test. It's a good test, right? I mean, it's a good.
Yeah.
It depends on where it goes back to the hardcores and the casuals and all that. And I think obviously you got to change. I think the schedule obviously has to be kind of pushed a little bit back, maybe whatever. But you can do that.
Yeah.
Like you can definitely start earlier. There's no reason why you can't. There's not much going on. Like you could do that.
Well, this year would have been kind of hard to start it earlier.
Oh,
with
the Olympics and all that.
Yeah, with the Olympics and everything like
Yeah,
that. And
that's true.
Every 4 years, they're going to come up with that problem. But the 3 years there without the Olympics might be a little bit more feasible to go ahead and start the season a little bit early. I mean, it might even prove good, during the Olympics as well, because you get more games in, and then you could, shut down the season a little bit earlier to have, to handle the Olympics and let all the players get to where they need to get to support their country. But that's still you definitely have to end it a little bit before the NBA start, because once the NBA start, the focus might not be on them, and they need their time to shine.
But do you really need to have to stop it? I mean, you have all this momentum coming into the end of the season. Yeah, it's going to bleed into the NBA, but now you're getting those NBA fans that said, you know what, I need a game tonight that there's nothing to do. WNBA's playing. Let me just throw it on real quick.
I think you have to do that. Would you say
you also have to think about, you got the MLB playoffs going on as well. That's a further divide is also the NFL. So that's spreading the attention a little bit thin. When it comes to that.
You just got to get YouTube TV.
There you go.
Well, but that's $72 a month, boy. That hits a little. That hits a little hard. Because
I gotta test it out.
I'm about to get hit in a couple of days.
That's nothing compared to what I was paying with another company. I won't.
I haven't paid.
You hush your mouth.
I haven't paid for cable TV in a minute, but still.
I have. Well, I heard. I know at least. I mean, I know it's a little bit more. Comcast, they went into the whole force. Like if you have their 4K box, which I just got not too long ago, you can actually do the same thing with the screens now. So I got to test that out. I haven't had a chance to test it out, but my boy put me on that this morning. I was like, oh shoot, I didn't even know I could do that. So I got to check that out. So take that, YouTube. Take that. All right, we're gonna move on to a little NFL talk. Week 7. It's like the injury plague of the year week. I feel like everybody and their mama had a injury for whatever team. Anybody playing like Steven Castaneda, who has like 50 fantasy leagues. I don't know whether he survived or not on all his teams, but I mean, we could start off with the Niners, I guess. I mean,
no, we don't have to. We can just skip it.
No. If you guys gonna talk about the Raiders, we're gonna have to talk about.
We're gonna talk about the Raiders too, for sure.
They
both going in the same direction at this point, so
right,
I mean,
exactly. Yeah, come on down here with us. Sit down on the couch next to us.
We're not going that far down. We're not going that far down.
I mean, you guys
all the way down. Nothing can stop us. We're all the way down. That's where we're going. Ayuk is gone for the year. Who else is hurt? Now Debo was in the hospital
with pneumonia.
I think he just got out today. Brock looked absolutely awful. I know he had a depleted wide receiver core, but those throws were god awful, man. Like they were like no excuse rookie. They look like Bryce Young throws. I don't even know where he was going or who he was looking at, but I mean it was a bad game, man. This overall was just the defense played decent. I don't want to say they played spectacular, but they kept them in the game for sure.
Yeah.
But
Hold on real quick. Hey, Spencer, Dr. David's weekly Raiders report, they still suck. They sucked last week. They sucked at the beginning of the year. They still suck. There you go. Boom. There goes your Dr. David weekly Raiders report.
That was quick.
it's accurate, though. It's accurate. I like it. It's inaccurately accurate. So there you go.
Accurately
She's
incorrect.
still
Accurate.
winning.
There you go. I mean, I don't know what else can you say about them. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at least obviously with the Raiders, I don't know if you're playing for the draft or what you're doing at this point. I mean, because what's his name is out now, right? Aiden is pretty much. Did he
Aiden's
break a
gone.
finger or something?
He's out.
Yeah. So now it's
You
just
just got Spencer.
We're back to the beginning of the season with Minshew.
Uncle Rico is back, baby.
Hold
Like he
on.
never left.
Haven't hurt her. Like go to the bench and now,
You're back, baby. We'll
Back.
get to that. Oh, we're gonna get to that. I added that on.
His head.
That came out of nowhere today. We're gonna add that on when we get to the Kings. But Kyron, is it panic time for the Niners? Is it you just chalk it up as injuries, or where are you at?
I mean, I've been panicking since week 3 when we lost to the Rams. So I don't know. I don't know if you can panic more. But I mean, the injuries are still piling up too much. And the only thing that's, I guess you could say it's good is that we have 4 losses, but it's combined total of by 20 points for those 4 losses. So we're not getting blown out. We're not losing by a huge amount. We just need either our offense to step it up a little bit more or our defense to step it up a little bit more. The problem is I don't see either side getting better. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we get some influx of some talent, we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to be middle of the road where we are. We maybe get the NFC West. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule. We have, what is it here? We have Dallas, we have Tampa, Seattle, Green Bay. We could possibly go 3-1 and maybe even go 1-3. I don't know. So that's the thing is.
My fear in the beginning of the year, before even like game 1, and I think I called in and was talking to Kyle and Ham about it, and I told Kyle, I was like, low key, man, like I know this is just the season starting, but I always worry, like anytime I've seen a team that like had so much success for like 2-3 years, especially in the NFL, like pretty much there were injuries here and there, but like pretty clean overall, right? Like for 2-3 years, nobody majorly got hurt. Like that was a major factor other than players here and there. And then this season, for me personally, like watching from afar, it just didn't feel right. It was like Ayuk held out for a while. He finally got there. There was a little bit of turmoil, and it was like, bro, like luck is very much a part of a season in any sport, really. Like any sport. Like we talked about 2 years ago with the Kings, like they were healthy that whole year for the most part. And then last year you had the month. Like it's hard for you to have everybody, all your ducks in a row. Like stuff happens. And this year I just felt like it was coming. I didn't want to say nothing because my girl is a Niners fan, and I was like, man, I'm rooting for them because of her. But when then this year started trickling down, I was like, this ain't it, man. Like it's just gonna be. It might just be one of those years where like nothing goes right. Like if it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not an injury, Brock had a bad day. If it's Brock playing well, the defense is blowing, coverages, like all that stuff. Like it just seems like everything can't come together at once.
And like Harris and Callie and Chad says, Purdy can only take us so far. I think what we're seeing with Purdy is the reason why he was drafted so low. He's not going to be able to take a team past what it already was. Like he's not going to be a Patrick Mahomes and uplift the team. He's going to keep it stable, keep it where they are, but without some better talent.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Bruh.
What?
This is how y'all act on one bad game from Purdy?
This isn't his only bad game all season, though.
I'm sorry?
This is not his first bad game this season.
Okay, you guys have had who? What weapons have you guys had? Okay, you guys had what Ayuk. He started off trash. He's just now getting back to form. Oh, nope. He's in. Okay. You guys haven't had McCaffrey. You guys barely had Debo. You guys were running off of Jennings. I think y'all overreacting with this Purdy thing. He's trying.
I'll tell you from the outside real quick. Only thing that I have my concerns with him is I think he's a good quarterback. I do think he's a good quarterback. My only worry with him is I do need to see him like what he did this past game. That's stuff that you just can't do no matter who's on the field. Like
and how many games has he had?
No. I'm not. I agree with you at that. I'm saying as long as he's not. But that's all. Like the rest of the other games, like to me, he did his job most of the time. Like he did what he was supposed to do. But like this past game, though, that's an inexcusable game.
You're right.
That's an
He played bad. He played terrible.
Right.
He played horrible.
It's also timing of that, right?
Game. He has never had a game like this. Like this past Sunday.
I agree.
He's never had a game like this past
But
Sunday.
do you, from what you've seen in Purdy, do you think he can take the team on his back and say, hey, I have no weapons. I'm going to take us.
But who does? Like you're talking about
one
of one.
I'm just saying.
Who's is one of one?
Who does?
Bro,
you gotta have weapons
in
order to be able to play the game. He can't just throw to any random. Let me get out on the field and let Purdy throw me a ball. You think y'all winning? You guys think
Purdy's overthrowing you
out there? If you guys don't have the talent, he's got to do something in order to try to win the game. He made some bad choices.
Yeah,
he made some bad choices. Okay, but that's one game, and you guys are already jumping off. Y'all ready to jump over the Golden Gate Bridge?
Oh no!
Off of this game,
bridge.
No, but what I'm saying though is, without these weapons being in, this is where we needed Purdy to step up, and he did not do that. Can we agree that he didn't step up when he needed to? He was overthrowing people.
How do you step up with? Okay,
if you're going to get paid next season,
hold on. Without Ayuk, who covers Ayuk? Who replaces Ayuk?
Nobody on this team.
So you want him to throw to nobody?
But
you want him to throw to nobody. So
I want him to throw an accurate ball.
I see both points. Like I see what Warren's saying. Also, kind of, I do see what you're saying. Like in those particular, because he was driving the ball, he had them in scoring positions both times, and he killed both drives with horrible throws. So he was hitting receivers. Like he was on point. He was on point driving those guys, and then all of a sudden he tried to do too much on two passes, and he killed both drives. And I agree with that. Like,
you make a mistake, you make a mistake. I understand, and he made mistakes at the most inopportune time.
And that's why I think this week is important.
Weapons out there for him to play. I mean, what team has it? What team does it? What team can strive like that? I mean, like Patrick Mahomes is an anomaly, really.
I'm not needing him to be Patrick Mahomes, but I am needing him to be an accurate quarterback.
He has to take care of the ball.
Yeah.
That he has to do. And I think
he's had issues in the past with turnovers randomly like that. That's not new.
But it's one game.
No. Well, let's see what happens this week. Because this week, he has to have a comeback game.
Y'all ready to throw him away after one game?
No, we're not throwing him away, but we do need him to be a better quarterback without the weapons.
Not from what I've seen.
I'm talking about me. I can only talk about me. I'm not ready to throw Purdy away. But I am saying that, no, we're not talking about
Let me fill up my cup some more because you got me on one today.
Hey, Katrina, I will give them all. To me, it is amazing what he's done. I don't care how many interceptions he's like. They look out of it almost every game, and somehow they pull off these games. And I don't know where they're going. Like I could easily see them losing 3-4 in a row the way they played at times. But I'll never. If I know that game's right there at the end, like I'm like, yo, it's a wrap. They're gonna win this game because that's where they have other teams. The Chiefs have other teams in that mode of like straight up panicking at the end of games because the last thing you want to do is see Mahomes with the ball at the end of a game. Like it's ridiculous. Who can have like
I'll ask any Niners fan straight up. We trade you Minshew for Purdy. What y'all gonna say?
No.
Even
I know that.
Exactly.
I'm not saying he's a bottom quarterback. I just say I need him to throw better balls. I need him to
But
take
you're
care of the
talking
ball.
about, well, now we see why he was picked in the last person in the first
Yes.
round.
Yeah, kind of.
Exactly.
But he okay, look at it this way. He was picked the last person in the first round, and look where he got y'all. Look what he's doing for y'all. For the last past 2.5 seasons, look what he's done for y'all. Look what he's done for y'all. One game now. Oh, now we see why he was picked in the last. He was picked in the last person in the first round. For real? Well, if that's how y'all feel, go ahead and give him to the Raiders. Give him to the Raiders. I bet you if he was on the Raiders, Adams wouldn't have won the league.
Well, I don't know about that. Now you might be going.
We see where everybody at. Let's move on from the subject. We're gonna see what he do this week. We're gonna see what he do. He definitely needs to have a comeback game. The whole team does. So, anybody think about anything else that went on during the NFL season, or that this week, I should say? I mean, is Tomlin a genius, or that almost pissed me off? I hated seeing Wilson. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to see Fields back just because that's personal. And Wilson looked horrible for about a half, and then they scored 37 points. I mean, Fields couldn't do that. I can't even knock that. Like, I really can't. I don't know what that means weeks coming up, but like Tomlin, I can't.
The man has been in his position as a head coach for 17 years?
Yeah, for a reason.
That man has not had a losing season at all in 17.
That's what it is right there. I cannot, as much as I love Fields, I do, but I can't. Even Fields said it. He said it in a press conference. They asked him about it, and he said, "I didn't do anything basically to warrant having to say you have to give me this job." Like, he didn't. He did well enough to win, but he did not do well enough to create any doubt. And when Wilson was healthy, he got his starting job back. And then Tomlin's an old school coach. Nobody loses a job unless they had been like 6-0, right? And like dude was throwing like 12 touchdowns to 1 interception, where you can't, like Mike was saying today, like you can't take anybody out on that. But when you leave a little bit of doubt and the offense really wasn't moving, and you got a guy with an arm, like you got to at least give it a chance so you can continue this good season that you've been having and you don't lose track and focus. So more kudos to him, man. Kudos.
And like Scooter said, that's how I was last week. There was no reason to move. There was no reason to swap. Apparently there was.
Right.
Because he went out there and
they literally scored more points. They literally scored more points in one game than they had in like 3 games, man. Like, what can you really argue about that? Like, right now you can't. Right now, Tomlin looks like the genius that he's always been. So, hey, that's what it is. That's what it is, man. So, I don't really have too much more on NFL. I mean, I think it was just a crazy injury week. My Bears were off, so that's a win for me. So I'll take that. Katrina, once again, reigning supreme, 6-0. I'm sure there was celebration.
But it says so much.
Falcons lost. That brought some joy to you on the side. So,
I'm rooting for Kirko Chains.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's up? Before we go into basketball, just because it is the World Series, just real quick, we got any picks? Dodgers, Yankees?
Yankees.
Of course. I got to go Yankees because of my girl. She's a Yankees fan, so I'm rooting for her. I don't really have a horse in the race. So to me, it's Judge versus Ohtani.
Yeah.
I think that's a great battle. Ohtani's, it's like the first time he's in the playoffs and he's going to the World Series. Like, bro, that's crazy. I don't care what they stacked up like that. That's crazy. Should be a good hitting battle. I'm looking forward to seeing some of it. So I hope.
How many games do you guys think it's going to go though?
6. And if I had to pick, I'm just going to pick the Yankees just to pick them. Plus, I hate the Dodgers. So anything Michigan likes, I hate. He likes it, I love it. There's where we go. F that dude. How about that, Michigan? How about that? All your teams. So
Someone in my house hates both teams, and I guess I'm the only one watching. So
I don't even watch baseball, so to me, I don't care. I am not even gonna watch the World Series. So
I'm not gonna lie. It's the only thing I will say about it. Like that's kind of nobody's really. I haven't heard too many people talk about like. Usually there's a balance, right? Like one team has great pitching, one team has hitting, or there's at least like literally I was looking at both and I'm like, I don't really see any pitching whatsoever. Like there's no great pitchers. I think unless Garrett Cole, you want to count him, but like in general, I'm like, this might just be like a home run derby, which is great, I guess, because that's what people like to see. But I kind of like seeing great pitching performances too. So I don't know. That's a little disappointing for me. I grew up playing baseball, so it's not my favorite sport. It hasn't been for a long time, but I'd still like to see some. It's the World Series. Like I feel like championships, like just a little bit different. But I don't know what to expect. And I guess we'll see.
I don't watch it regularly, but yeah, that was my first sport.
Yeah. So all right, we did the proverbial MLB. We'll move on to the NBA. And before we get to the Kings, though, I know this week a bunch of extensions went out. A bunch of players got their extensions. Jalen Green, that dude got paid. He got paid. That dude, I can't believe that they paid him like that.
Players got paid.
They got paid. Like, but Jalen Green was like a crazy story just because of the whole, he bet on himself. Basically, he went to the Ignite first, became a second pick, and like got paid, man. Like that's the new thing. Like you don't have to finish at college. You don't even have to go to college. Just join a league, and if you bet on yourself and you're a hooper, you're a hooper. Like that's what it is. You get more of a pro training atmosphere than you go to college. Like unless you're like 101, you're gonna have to fit a system. You're gonna have to do a lot of different things. I think that's why you got guys like that just retired. Was it Tony Bennett that just retired because he couldn't deal with the NIL stuff, and a lot of old school coaches are gonna leave really prematurely at this point. I think because they're just not used to that new school having to pay kids not wanting to go there unless they're like guaranteed certain things. So it is what it is. But like I said, like these guys got paid. What did you think about the Warriors not extending Kuminga?
Oh well.
Katrina summed it up for me.
Yeah. It's the Warriors. Do we really care? I mean,
it's kind of a big deal. I mean, I know it's the Warriors, but overall, as a basketball fan, like that's a little eye opening that they paid Moody, and it wasn't much. They didn't really overall like Moody compared to what everybody else was getting was like low end of the totem pole. 3 years, what was it, $39 million or something like that? So like, I mean, that's a lot of money to us, but in NBA terms, like that's low tier. That's almost like just throwing him a bone. Like, hey man, you're lucky to be here. Here's $39 million. Like, here you go.
Did I get an alert? I think when I was like stepping in the door that Gobert.
He got 3 years.
Got paid too.
He got paid too. He got 3 extra years. Yeah,
for 110, I think that was what.
Yeah, like 110, 111, something like that. Yeah, I don't hate him as much as everybody else hates him, but they're really like they really doubled
Luka for me. Like there's Luka and there's Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Luka's on top. F Luka. Yeah, F Luka.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, they doubled. I mean, I guess once they traded away Towns, they pretty much showed their hand on.
The way they're looking right now against the Lakers, though, they may want to rethink that.
Seriously, Lakers are.
But then again, that's 11. Because they. I don't know. They might want.
Hey, they're not the Knicks.
Hey, and the way the Knicks looked against the Celtics, they might be double thinking that too.
Well, I mean, the Celtics is a different story. That Cat just got there.
Not by that though.
Not by 40 points. Nah, man.
Okay, do we think Cat is better than Randall?
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. And even when Randall was supposed to have been, one of the targets for the Kings, I never wanted Randall. I've never liked Julius Randle's game. Watching this game right now, I can see why he's not on Cat's level. I don't care what accolades he got. I have never liked Julius Randle. I have never wanted him on the Kings, and watching this game right now has proven me.
I see. I'm not that down on him. Like, he's not Cat, but I still like his game. I think in New York there was a period of time where he had to do the things he was doing. He ain't really had nobody. Like, who did he have before? I mean, who did he have on his team before they even got Brunson? Like, it was just him and basically a bunch of guys.
I mean, even before he got there, though, even before he got to the Knicks, when he was on the Lakers, I was never fond of him.
I like the kid.
Didn't he go to where was he before he went to New York? Was he in New Orleans?
No, he wasn't in New Orleans. Let me see.
Where was he? Was
he was in New Orleans. He was in New Orleans for a year.
He was?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
after Lakers. Yeah,
he was in New Orleans for a year, and I've never liked Julius Randle's game. Everybody's been hyping him up, and I'm just looking like I don't see it. I don't see it.
I just don't see Cat as being a good Thibodeau player. Like, I don't see that fitting well. The two of them, just something with the two of them, I don't think will work well long term. I don't know.
But see, that's where I'm a little bit. Not sure about that because Tibbs had to have okayed the trade, and he had been with before. So to me, if he greenlit it, then they were fine. Like, all the other stuff everybody was talking about, like, there's no way Tibbs would have okayed that trade unless he was comfortable getting Cat again and wanting to play with his skill set and what he brought to the table. So I think they'll be fine as far as that.
Yeah, you can't go off today's game. That was the Celtics. They hype off of their ring. You know, they coming out firing, just looking like, you know.
But it's usually the opposite. Usually, like, that game is when the championship teams usually like are off, and they blew them fucking out the water. Like, I don't care about them losing, but that's embarrassing.
It was to me, that game was boring because all I saw was, I'm just gonna shoot threes. We're just gonna shoot threes. That's all we're gonna do. I've never been a person like, oh yeah, let's just shoot threes. I've never been a fan of only shooting threes for a game. You know, I mean, like I said earlier with Sabrina, that's all they did was shoot threes.
But when your team's hitting almost 50% of the threes, I can see why you still shoot them though. I mean, the Celtics.
I can see that, but it takes away from the game because all you're doing is running up and down the court. Oh, I'm open. Let me shoot a three.
But as a player, are you worried about how I look, or are you worried about winning? I mean, they're not worried about the
But that's the thing. It's like, if I'm cool with that being your game plan, but if it's not working and all of a sudden you're 0 for 12, like, try something different before you get blown out the water. Like, if that's all you got, if that's your whole game plan, win or lose, just keep jacking threes. You ain't never win. I don't care who it is. You're not winning a championship like that if that's your goal. Like, because you're going to have games that, especially in 7-game series, 5-game series, where you can't do that. You have to have other game plans. Like, that's cool that you shoot 50%, but there's nobody that shoots 50% consistently. Not even Steph shoots 50% consistently. Like, it just doesn't happen. You're going to have off games. You have to be able to put the ball on the floor. You got to be able to have somebody, at least even if it's like for a quarter, that's pounding the ball down low. Like, pound it, man. Ain't nothing. Like, if you can't shoot, pound the crap out of it. Just do what you got to do. That's it, man.
Yeah, sometimes it just needs a good pounding. We get it.
That's it. Sometimes you got to give it a good pounding. Jesus. Words to live by.
I've been drinking. Stop that. Stop that.
Words to live by in all facets of life. If you can't shoot your shot, just pound it. That's it, man. So.
Okay, flag.
Consensually.
Flag.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Katrina. Thank you.
We've had no flags for like 2 weeks. Like, come on now.
Last week needed a flag big time.
So that's it, guys. We got Thursday coming up. That's it. Game day. Game day coming up. What is it that you guys need to see from the team on Thursday? And I'm not talking about like have to win. Like obviously we know it's the first game of the season, but
No, they need to win. Thank you.
they do need look, but even we want them to win, obviously.
Yeah.
But obviously it's been a bad preseason. Like, so what do you need to see in this first game to make you feel a little bit comfortable about going into that next game, right? Like where you're not like, oh, obviously it can't look like what it looked like in the preseason.
Nothing.
I need to know who the starting five is. Who's
Well,
our starting?
Find that out.
We'll find out.
I need to know who our starting two is.
You already know it. He already said it.
Yep.
Didn't we find that out today?
Oh, if this, then that. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I don't play
but he said it basically like if Herder's healthy, it's Herder.
Yeah.
If Herder's healthy,
I need a definite.
It's just a matter of when now. He just basically told us it's a matter of when. When he's healthy, he's going to be the starting two. That's basically what he said.
Does that count as a freeze?
Do you guys agree with it? Disagree with it? How do you feel? I mean, if Keon had a, I don't even have to say a great, but if he had a pretty consistent preseason shooting wise, I don't think he would have said what he said about Herder. I know preseason is preseason, and I know everybody else looked bad too. But your stars can look bad in the preseason, and you're not going to be like, oh, I'm not starting him. But when you have a position that there is no fluency to, and that guy doesn't come out and grab it by its cojones, then this is the things that you get. You get, all right, maybe I give it back to Herder. Nobody's going to ever really know what Mike's thinking as far as like, was this his plan the whole time? Like the way he quote unquote said, I don't think it was. I think if dude had a good preseason, it would have made his decision easier. He didn't. And here we are. Herder probably is going to be the starter if he's healthy. But we don't know, obviously, until Thursday. But are you guys okay with that? How do you guys feel about, I know Ramsey's happy. That's obvious. But how do you guys feel about if it's Herder?
Ramsey and happy. He's content.
I personally, like I said before, I need them to get on the court and play. Whoever Brown puts in, whoever Brown puts in the starting lineup, he needs to go ahead and run with that. I need to see quality play.
Yeah.
I need to see defense. I need to see perimeter defense. And we got Minnesota, right?
Yep.
First game. So yeah, I looking at this, I'm like, okay, watching them play right now with Randall, I'm like, I'm feeling kind of good. But then again, I kind of remember how Randall went off a couple of years ago against the Kings. So that's a huge problem because it seems like everybody gets their bounce back game against the Kings. So I need to see some perimeter defense going on, let's stop these threes.
Well, you said it earlier, Warren. You said it earlier in the chat. Sorry to interrupt, but you said it, and I wrote it down because I thought it was a good point that you said they need to the uptake of defense from the second half of last year. We need to see if that was was that who they really were, right? Like, did they finally click and get this thing rolling, or was it just anomaly? So, yeah.
Exactly.
Katrina, what do you think?
I'm good with it. Like several people in the chat have said, I've been saying all along, the second he tossed that headband, Kayvon's back. Kayvon's starting. If he's not shooting like we know he can, then we'll revisit it.
Is this you think this is a short leash by Mike, or do you think because that's my problem is if this is what you're gonna go with, then I need you to just go with it. Like this whole yanking people out of the starting lineup, although I'm not a fan of the whole quote unquote fragile psyche, to me, if you're not doing your job, then you're not doing it. Don't get mad if he does take you out. But as a fan, I'm also just stick with the lineup. Like unless everything goes sideways for like multitude of games, just stick with your lineup and let them get that chemistry and let them build that, and let's just see what happens, right? Like, but
Yeah,
the whole
I hope it's
yanking,
not a short leash. I really hope it's not a short leash with Kevin. Because
yeah, I
we
hope
saw
not.
what happened to him last season, and he was even saying he was traumatized. Like that's most of the reason why he chucked that headband. Like,
The main thing is does Brown finally see the benefit of having Herter on the team, much less in the starting lineup?
Well, he just found out he was on the team like a week ago. So I mean,
yeah,
I think that was kayfabe for real. I think that was kayfabe. I think he just didn't want to show his hand on that. There may be some merit to how D'Lo says that he doesn't like Herter, but I kind of think that maybe what he saw in Keon, and even though Keon, I thought was kind of phenomenal in the second half. He did some pretty spectacular things on the defensive end, but that offensive end with the lack of 3-point shooting was a little bit different. And I think I wonder if Brown saw some plus sides with having Herter on the team.
yeah.
I need to have somebody go up to Mike Brown and be like, why do you hate all the shooting guards on this team? Like between last year with Duarte starting and Kevin not starting, and then Malik not even getting a chance to start. I just need to know why he hates every shooting guard this team has.
he's been a regular at high school football games on Friday nights. An insider source told me. So
The insider source, or just an insider source?
And insider, as far as I know.
there's a difference. There's a difference.
There is. I almost said it wrong too. So
I might need to get out there, ask him the real questions.
Right.
Hard hitting answers.
that's right. That's right. I just don't want to. I hate seeing the games that we're like, it's like
Katrina asking questions, Ramsey sitting in the corner.
We used to shop at the same Safeway. Could you imagine just running into Mike Brown, be like,
that's hilarious. I just don't want to see like the whole some guy, whoever it is, you could just pick anybody on the squad, like, oh, he's starting, then he's getting 20 minutes, and then he's going to 0 minutes, and then you got a guy that plays for 3 games, 20 minutes, and all of a sudden gets 2 minutes. Like, bro, just get a rotation, man. Like, I know you're still working on that. That's fine, but just get a rotation and stick with it. And again, unless the whole season is like going under, come on, man, get this chemistry. Let's go. We're in year 3 now. We're in year 3 now, bro.
We need to see that consistency.
Yeah.
So the team can,
and you can't get consistency. You can't expect like you got to gel. Like everybody's human. Like I know you're supposed to be ready to play anytime, but come on, man. Like
it was a 2.5 count. He had his shoulder up at that last second.
What happened? Did I go frozen or something?
You good?
Oh, okay.
You're on the mat, but then you hit the shoulder right there. Next moment.
The curse of Ham. Damn you, Ham! Damn you!
You got hit with the RKO, but then you put your foot on the rope and you're all right.
I try to stay in the match, man. I do it for the fans. So I don't know. I'm excited though. I'm excited. Personally, I'm excited for tomorrow to see ball play, but I'm excited especially for Thursday. And I'm just excited to see what Mike does. I'm excited to see who's going to play. I don't know.
I mean, I just, no matter who plays, I just want to make sure that I just want to be sure that whoever he has out there playing is actually a benefit for the team. that I want to see some consistent playing. I want to see some consistent defense.
I feel like
I
that's
want
a
to
strong
see them
comparison
make
going to
some.
last year.
I want them. Excuse me. I want to see them make threes at least at a 40% clip.
Yeah, that was god
At
awful.
least at a 40% clip. I want them to hit their threes. Whoever's shooting it, whether it's Herder, whether it's Monk, whether it's Keegan, even even De'Aaron, even De'Aaron. I want the collected to at least be at 40%.
Yeah, and even if they struggle in game one with 3-point shooting, for me, it's all right, man. You're struggling. Let me see you go to something else. Like, don't shoot yourself out of the game. Let me see you go to something else. Show that you have other things that you can do other than just shoot the three if that's what it takes. Just don't. I don't want to. Oh, it's just a bad shooting night. Minnesota blew us out by 40 points because we couldn't hit the bottom of the bucket. Like, then do something else, man. Like, it's not going to always work. You got to push the ball inside too, like, or whatever it is. Do some pick and rolls, whatever. Middies. That's what DeRozan does best. Hit him with the middies. Hit the middies. Like, let's go, man. Like, have something else, man. This whole again, I'm old school, man. Like, I didn't grow up where you shoot 4 points, 4 feet behind the line, man. Like, you get benched for doing crap like that back in the day. I know that's the norm, but like, bro, if you can't hit from right at the line, what the hell makes you think you can hit from anywhere else? Like, I need to see all of them driving to the hole. They got enough guys now. Like, there's weapons on this team all the way around, right? So
Speaking of which, they need to make sure they hit their free throws as well.
Yeah, that too.
I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing their free throw percentage being in hell.
And if what they said was true, and the preseason they didn't really show their hand on much, well, cool. Well, let me see your hand now because this is game one. Let's go. Let's get this season rocking. Let's get off on a good foot, and let's get this chemistry. I still expect it to take a bit. I think there's going to be ups and downs the first couple of months, but that's to be expected. I just need to see growth throughout these games. For me, that's what it's about, growth. Like, nobody has to be perfect. Nothing has to be like the greatest game ever. Like, just so the chemistry is flowing, that you guys are starting to like get that momentum picking up, and just have a steady season, man. And God help, nobody has any major injuries or anything, and let's go because we've had enough of those. And stay away from Luka when he's falling down on the floor and all that good stuff with his punk ass. So hopefully he stayed away from the Waffle House and he doesn't weigh 300 pounds anymore.
What?
Damn. Damn.
Drinking those recovery beers.
Yeah, recovery beers.
He's like, it's an IPA. It's good for me.
Eating at Golden Corral every night. Stop, bro. Stop, man. It's not good for you, man. Stop.
We need to throw chicken strips at Luca, not at Zion.
Damn.
That's a good distraction. That's true. Zion looks actually not bad, man. Just so unpredictable. So I don't know. But is anybody going to the game Thursday?
No.
If you get us tickets, we'll go.
Right? I might try to, ride in with Ramsey and Katrina. See if I can slide in through there.
Oh, Kyle Matson in the chat.
No.
What? It might be a fake Kyle Matson. I don't know.
I don't know if is that the real Kyle? If the real Kyle, please stand up.
Right?
Is that Kyle? Kyle's in?
Look,
Kyle
It literally says Kyle Matson.
Even Tara's going to the game. Oh, dang, it's a festival going on. I think Tyler said Patrick. Wheezy's going. I know Kyle Matson
needs to get together, meet up, and take a Chatty House photo.
Yeah, I think Kyle's going because he's media, so he's special. So he gets to. I'm sure Casey will be on the floor like he was at the Sac State game. I tried to get near him, but
Casey have his warmers on. They might call him off the bench.
Hey,
well,
he works out. He works on his jump shot enough, so he's ready to go. He's ready to go. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see everybody out there. Like, and just seeing the crowd, and everybody's been waiting, man. It was like a sour ending to that last year. So
In the preseason, that's behind us now. But I
Yeah.
think I had a little more. I was a little more locked in on preseason than I usually am. Not doing that again. Not doing that again.
that's about as bad as a preseason as you can have when you have expectations. Like when you have these
Yo,
high
Kyle, this is
expectations.
actually for actual cakes and cupcakes. It has nothing to do with anything else.
What does it say? Got
Got
It
cakes.
says got
I didn't even.
cakes.
I didn't even notice that.
Counting them cakes, baby. Let's go. Got cakes.
Kyle's derailing the show already, damn it.
It's right on point if you ask me. That's about. There you see, look, got all kinds of cakes. We got smash them cakes.
Oh no.
Nope.
Say
Yeah.
about the junkyard dog.
Oh,
Oh.
well, there you go. Good wrestling reference. Good wrestling reference.
Yeah, see you Thursday.
Thanks for tapping in, Kyle. I think we're about to wrap it up in a minute anyway. But
Michigan had a question earlier. Did you catch that?
no, what was it? I was trying not to be derailed.
He asked when you and I are taking him to Fire Wings and that you owe him Five Guys.
Wow.
I don't know about
I do
that.
owe him Five Guys.
Is that Michigan?
It's hard to get Five Guys together though. So I told him it's going to take me a minute to get that Five Guys for him, but
I'm
I
out
do owe him
on
Five
that, but Fire Wings, I'm down.
I don't know if I've ever been there. I know everybody. I've heard people. I haven't ever been to Fire Wing.
Yeah. Peanut
They have
butter
a peanut butter wing, right?
peanut butter wings and the salt and pepper wings.
Yeah, those are.
Minnesota coming back. They're only down by 4 now.
See,
Yep. 9 minutes left in the game.
They got plenty of time.
Oh,
And
6
coming
now.
in,
I
too.
guess he already went to sleep. He's not even in the chat.
All right. So final predictions for Thursday. What do we think? What's their next game after Thursday?
Hold on.
I think there's a game on Sunday.
Okay.
No,
I think
Saturday.
Is it? It is okay.
Saturday
It is
against the
Saturday.
Lakers.
I have that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, the Lakers is on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then what's after that?
Hold on. Let me go back. After
Just want to
that,
see how many games
is,
we're gonna have in before the next show.
Trailblazers on Monday.
Okay. So 3 games. We'll have 3 games to kind of get a little feel for how the team's doing in that first week. I believe
Please.
next week Coach JT will be joining us
Nice.
and have a nice little look at that first week. I have to get with him and see what his schedule is just to make sure. And then the following week, which is the Niners bye week, the great Kyle Madsen will be joining us to go over. Although I thought it would have been better news at that point, I do not know how much greatness we'll be talking about at that point at the halfway mark of the NFL season. So got a couple good guests lined up.
Since we have 3 games before our next show, what's everybody's prediction on the record by then
3 games.
For the Kings.
for the Kings?
Yeah, for those 3 games.
We've got.
We got-
Oh, sorry. We've got Minnesota. We've got the Lakers, and then we've got you said
Portland.
Trailer.
Yep.
Trailblazers.
Portland.
Oh.
Yep.
Lakers game is the only game that's away. Everything else is home.
I'm gonna call
Okay.
it 3-0.
3-0.
I'm gonna call it 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds like Kings fans. I'm going to go 2-1.
I'm going 2-1 also.
2-1. Yeah.
But who called the Chiefs?
I mean, that wasn't.
3-0.
You call the Chiefs. No, if they were playing 3 teams at the same time, you'd still be like Chiefs. It wouldn't matter.
I feel
You call the Chiefs when they're not even playing.
That's true.
I feel this team has
We're still winning.
a chip on their shoulder. I think, and I think they have something that they want to prove. I think they're going to run through Minnesota.
Wait. Scratch that. Jess is right. There's actually they have Utah on Tuesday.
To 4 games.
4
So
games.
we got 4 games.
4
Okay,
games.
4
Okay.
games. And I'll say, damn. Now you guys gonna make me change it all up.
No, don't do it. Go 4-0.
4-0. Let's go.
Don't be whack.
I don't know.
That Utah game is in Utah.
Warren, they have something to prove. They have something to prove. Because
I got 2 and 2.
Season,
You know what? You know what? You're right, Katrina. I'm gonna say 4-0.
Yeah, Katrina, you're right.
I'm gonna say 4-0.
Let's go.
I'm gonna say 4-0.
Right. I got 2 and 2.
They have something to prove because the national media was talking about the Kings. They were in the playoffs with the Warriors. They were talking about the Kings.
Okay.
Last season.
Yeah.
So 2-3-0.
I think they are gonna go 4-0. I think they are gonna go 4-0 because De'Aaron has some things he needs to get off his chest. I think De'Aaron has some things he needs to get off his chest. I think Malik has some things he needs to prove as to why he stayed in Sacramento. And I think DeRozan has a reason why he wants to show why he came to Sacramento.
Okay.
Preseason was just like this. Like, let's just
play it out. You know, let's just see what we have on our bench. Is basically what
trying stuff out.
Was.
All right, we'll see next week. We got 2 4-0s, a 3-1, right, Colin? And a 2 and 2 for me. So I'm the Debbie Downer of the group. 2 and 2 for me. So it is what it is. So 2 and 2, 2 4-0s, and a 3-1. Winner has to buy everybody else. No, see, the loser has to buy everybody else season tickets. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You can go ahead and wait on that if I lose.
Wait, you didn't say season tickets.
Oh, wow. So I guess my girl just told me.
After the fact.
I guess I don't know if anybody heard, but if you're a baseball fan, Fernando Valenzuela died. So that's crazy. As a Mexican, that's very sad because I always loved watching him as a kid. So
I saw that. Michigan pointed that out earlier.
Did he? I didn't even see that. That's crazy. Okay.
Before he went to bed.
Already, shit. I've been drinking for a good little minute, John Poles. Ain't already.
All right. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for coming on, to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see everybody as usual next week, Wednesday, 8:00. 4 games into the season. See where the Kings are at. See what else is going on in the sports world. And we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Yeah.
Chatty House. We ballin', boy. We going up at the Chatty House. We talk about it all, bring the family out. Sub to the channel, hit the likes now. And we only going up when the lights down. Yeah, we just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party. We just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party.
That crack.